How did you decide to become a comedian? What got you into it? Who inspired you?
So I feel like I've been inspired all along, like a huge fan of George Carlin. I did a lot of public speaking and what they call forensics in high school. So I've always loved to talk and to be in front of people, always loved doing the Easter speech at church. But growing up, we got our share of Richard Pryor. I think a big turning point in the early years was Bill Cosby's himself time in 1984, because I felt like that was maybe the first time I heard somebody do comedy about everyday stuff, particularly in that there's a bit where he talks about being at the dentist and the smoke that you could smell when they were drilling. And that was just so real to me, even as a high schooler. And honestly, I always try to give a nod to Jerry Seinfeld, because seeing his premiere on Johnny Carson, and again, he got so granular with observational that secured the idea that you could really just talk about everyday life in the smallest of it all. And there would be humor.
Yeah.
Yes. And just that. So that was impressive to me. But I still honestly hit up poetry first, went about my regular life, dipped a toe in 1997 at a mic with Roz Brown and Lonnie Love, and thought, well, I'm 29. It's too late for me to start this journey. So I didn't. I did 2 open mics and didn't do anything else until 2019, when it felt like all hell was breaking loose. I felt like I couldn't sustain opportunity in my life. And I literally just sat down with God and the universe, and I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? It can't be that everywhere I turn, I'm this quote unquote smart girl, but I can't seem to keep things together. So that means, universe, there's something else that you have for me that I'm not tapping into. And I just heard God say, what did you want to do when you got to LA? And I literally said acting and comedy. And he was like, there it is. And somehow the voice of God leaned in on the comedy part. I felt like he thought that was more important than the acting part.
Okay.
And so that's literally it. I was driving Lyft, and a young woman got in my car, and after about 1 minute of conversation, she leaned up from the back of the car and she said, have you ever thought about stand-up comedy? Wow. And I said, it's all I think about. And she said, well, then you should go. And then she proceeded to write down a lot of mics and different teachers. She wrote everything on that receipt paper and told me to start with the Tao Comedy Studio on Western in Koreatown, run by Bobby Oliver, who is a comedian from Georgia, but is a teacher and just amazing. And I went there October the 7th, 2019, and I have not looked back.
It's not just a tour, it's life.